Sorry, I'm all over the place tonight. How you doing? A little bit late, but hey, at least I didn't cancel it like last week. I'm trying to get into the schedule, into the groove for the NFL season, so I'm going to be updating week 1 projections, answering any questions you have about Cam Newton being dropped, stuff like that, while trying to get into Stitcher on my PC so I can listen to John Bosch and Zach Reed talk. Hey, Connor, how you doing? I seem to have forgotten my Stitcher password. I can't remember. Trying to figure out how to add audio over here. Don't seem to have that option. How you doing? Anyone got any questions? Let me know. I'm just getting in here. I'm a little late. Eventually, I'm going to be working my way around to week 1 projections, but for right now, I'm just kind of lost. I watched some really helpful YouTube videos on how to stream audio into StreamYard, and it turns out I don't have any of those settings that they were talking about. General green screen guest camera. Nope, green screen. Share. Window. All right. If I remove that, can you still hear it? That's the real question. I've got premium, man. I pay for StreamYard. I use it so much, I just ended up subscribing. It says I'm sharing, so we'll see. But yeah. How you all doing? I'm going to pull up my... I have to pull up my seasonal projections and my weekly projections because I recently made a whole bunch of adjustments for injury news that I have to import into the weekly model that we're going to be using this year. Or I'm going to be using this year. You can use whatever you like, obviously. Let's share a screen, shall we? That's the wrong one. I mean, it's been a minute. Apparently, I've forgotten completely how to do all of this. There we go. We don't need it that big just yet. I'm just chill a minute. Hey, Steve, by the way. Sorry. Thanks for the comment. Mine. Ocular smoke. Okay. Yeah, this is what we need. And we also need the new assumptions. In the stream model that we built together on stream this off-season. Productive off-season, you might call it. I've had to add some additions in here. Mostly, they're just additions to account for the weekly model I built afterwards. Not much different from doing projections for season long, to be honest. All right. We got that one fixed. Then we need to update the team projections, and we'll be away or close to it. It's this one. You know, I continually feel like one of my weaknesses as an analyst is not know exactly what to, as an analyst, or whatever the frick we do here, is that I don't know exactly which take to push hardest, because Cam Newton just got dropped, and we were all over that whenever asked. Oh, I don't have that set up yet, okay. But I didn't really feel like like I had to push it that much because, I mean, it is Cam Newton. He's decent. He could do something. And the team's invested in him. But it definitely didn't make sense after the draft to draft Mac Jones and then start Cam Newton, because that's two entirely different offenses you have to build. But we didn't focus it, and now we don't get the credit for that, I guess. Okay. Okay, so our assumptions are updated. I'll show you in a little bit how the weekly projection model works. When we have enough in-season data, I'm going to flip the switch, and it'll switch over to using touchdown rates and target shares and volume shares from 2021 data. But right now, we don't have enough data, obviously. So what I'm doing instead is I'm defaulting to what our projections already said. So if our projections say a player has a certain role or a team has a certain touchdown distribution, I'm using that until we get enough 2021 data that I can switch over. And that's what I was just updating. I was just including the new player projections and the new team projections. Obviously, patrons, I posted about updating all of those. And from there, it should really just work by itself. That's the hope, that a lot of this stuff is going to get easier. I don't know what this is. What was I doing over here? Good Lord. I get up to so much stuff. You ever looked at a sheet and wondered what the hell you were up to last time you were here? Constantly, personally. Like, I've no idea why I've got a list of team touchdown histories averages down here. Like, did I just want to see it? I don't even know. Anyway. These are still spitting out averages for me to fact check. All right. We should probably update depth charts, actually, because enough has changed. So it should be a simple matter of this. And that should update everything for us, because obviously players have moved, players become undrafted free agents, so on and so forth. Oh, yeah, and then I got the quarterback thing I have to do. Because I'm essentially just saying one quarterback starts for every team every week, obviously. But when I update the depth charts that way, it means all my injury analysis is in the wrong place. So, hang on. Colt McCoy is probably not starting. Nope. AJ McCarron, Trey McSorley, apparently. Mitch Trubisky, no. PJ Walker. I guess we're saying Sam Darnold starts week 1, right? I think Andy Dalton gets a week 1 start, right? I think that's fair for right now. Starting Joe Burrow, probably, as long as that injury keeps staying away. Is Dak Prescott starting week 1? Terry Bridgewater. Yeah, we're going Teddy week 1. Goff or David Blau? Tough choice, but I think it'll be Jared Goff. Blake Bortles is probably sitting. Behind Aaron Rodgers. David Mills sitting. Jeff Driscoll sitting. Right now, it looks kind of like Deshaun Watson's going to start for the Houston Texans week 1, right? It's kind of an awkward situation there. I guess Jacob Eason takes week 1 for the Colts. And Trevor Lawrence for Jacksonville. Actually, Gardner Minshew needs to be updated. He's no longer in Jacksonville, but that doesn't matter right now. I can do that later. Chase Daniels, sit down. John Wolford, Marcus Mariota, Jacoby Brissett, Kellen Mond. Oh, yeah. And then Cam Newton's now an undrafted free agent. Nice. Stedman and Hoyer can sit. I'm just going to give it to Mac Jones, much like the Patriots did. Taysom Hill can sit. Apparently that debate's over for now. Ian Brook, Mike Lennon, James Morgan. I didn't even know you were a thing, dude. Joe Flacco, Mason Rudolph, Dwayne Haskins. I mean, how many backup quarterbacks do you really need in a seasonal model, Pete? That's what I want to know. Jimmy Garoppolo or Trey Lance? What do you think? Give it to Jimmy. I mean, Trey's injured right now, right? Locked in. Fitzpatrick, Tyler Heineke, Al Allen can all sit. All right, that should do it. Now we need new Vegas odds. That should be all that's left to update. So let me close the... Oh, I did. All right. Oh, sorry, guys. Guy, how you doing, man? Been a while. Wow, I got in early. It's a miracle. I think it's a miracle I managed to show my dang face. I've been a little lax. I admit. I canceled last week, moved it to this week. Just terrible of me. This is kind of the first version of a 2 trial run set where I get ready for the season, because it's going to be on Wednesdays. I think DLF is interested in me doing my live stream for them on Wednesdays, so I figured I'd move it to Wednesdays. It's going to be projection and this week heavy because of that, because waivers are already going to be finished. Those aren't Vegas lines at all. Not ones I recognize. Tell you what, I just want a simple look, so none of these are going to help. Odds Shark. No, these are all going to be too complicated, man. I guess we'll try CBS, but I think they give you a really complicated view, and I don't want that right now. I just want simple over-unders. See what you got. CBS. Oh, yeah, I guess that could be simple enough. My book. Oh. I mean, I get it. You're all sophisticated bettors, but I can't read this shit. Stop it. I mean, I don't care. Show me the average or don't, but don't show me every. Like, this is like reading one of my sheets. We're going with CBS for now. Felix, how you doing? John Brown Cut. Excited to see how Raiders wide receiver projections shake out. Probably not. I'm guessing you're a Brian Edwards fan, dude. I mean, I've been there. I tried that. It didn't work out for me, so I've moved on. But I think it's just Darren Waller, and you just kind of want Darren Waller. But let's see here. Oh, this manual entry is going to suck something fierce, isn't it? All right, Cowboys, Bucks. Okay, CBS, you could tell me who the favorite is. But okay. I guess you have to figure it out from the spread. Okay. No, that doesn't work because it doesn't list Buck. I mean, they either give you too much information or not nearly enough. You know what I mean? I'm honestly still looking for a Vegas line source. I can't even remember where I got these first ones. I just looked them up. I'm going to have to find a better source. Because this is a nightmare. I don't know why all betting sites think you want it to be as complicated to understand as possible. I just want to know the spread and the over-under for each team. Like, I don't know why you think I would need any of this. Like, why do you think I care how smart you are for being able to collect all this? I don't. Just give me the lines, man. Stop trying to show off. Or in fact, show under, because I mean, the other part of it is it looks like look at this. It looks like they made it in fucking Squarespace. Like, I know you can make apps, Fox. You have the money to pay someone to make an app. Like, what websites from 1970 freaking 7 on major industry sites, just when it comes to Vegas clients. Like, all this, like, yeah, you want all of this information, right? No, I want an over and I want a spread. That's all I want. Why would you be this way? You know what I mean? This is what people sound like when they look at my sheets. I'm sure. I get it. But could we not shame me right now? I'm busy shaming someone else. Simple week 1 NFL Vegas lines. Gee, what was that thing Matt sent me the other day? Did he find a site that did it? No. You see, again, I'm not going to take the time to figure out what your table means. I don't care. I can't tell you how much I don't care. RotoWire. There you go. RotoWire gets it. I mean, I wouldn't have expected, but RotoWire is the one that gets it. All right. Yeah, look, a line. Is that an over or under line? Yeah, over under. Neat. All right, we got one. RotoWire for all your just give me the fucking numbers needs. I feel like my biggest weakness as an analyst is not being able to predict the future. I think that's a big one for most of us, to be fair. That's a good point, Steve. I believe the plan is Watson will be a healthy scratch every week until they trade him or he's suspended. It could very well be, right? The NFL definitely doesn't plan to, and it probably can't take any action until the legal action is resolved. So they're probably just going to pretend like he doesn't exist for a while. When should be back from COVID before week 1, you think? We can do that. I mean, that's good news, I guess. Where was I? Colts. We can probably just get rid of free agents in a weekly model, don't you think? Nice try, Pete, but I don't think we need it. Colts. Here we go. Okay. Jacob Eason, your first NFL start, I guess, probably. Just say goodbye to it. All right. Where am I? And the Atlanta Falcons. Learn to speak, Pete. 48 over under with a minus 3-point line. You see how easy that is? 48. Is this week 1? Yeah. Week 1 NFL season. Neat. Tampa Bay versus Dallas. Minus 3.5. So the Atlanta Falcons are favored? Well, it's minus 7.5. Against the Cowboys. Really? Okay. Oh, that's Tampa Bay. Damn it. Falcons 3.5 48. Falcons 3.5 48. Nice. Where's Arizona? Give me Arizona. Or don't. Arizona. 52. They're an underdog. Okay. I see the way they're doing it. Arizona's 52 game projection against Tennessee. 3-point favorite. Which means Baltimore. 4.5 favorite. 41. 41. That can't be right. Baltimore with a 51 game projection. Sorry. 51 and minus 4.5. Nice. Buffalo. 48.5 and minus 6. Okay. They're heavily favorited. Carolina. Favorite as well. 44.5. 44.5 and minus 5. I think that's going to be a game, huh? Carolina, 44.5. Data entry, the streaming service you never knew you needed. Right? Where we are, Chicago. I guess it's by Kalen Hill week. Since all our other running back sleepers have already rocketed up boards. Thoughts? 44.5 and minus, or 7.5. 44.5, 7.5 because they're an underdog. Nice. Yeah, that's still true. Cincinnati, 48 minus 3.5. 48. It's only shifted a little bit. Still an underdog. Nice. Cleveland, 53 minus 6. Oh, Cleveland go up against Kansas City week 1. Wow. That's a shame for them. Minus 6. Well, that should just be 6. Dallas, 51.5. Dallas is the underdog. 6 favorite. And then Tampa Bay is a favorite. That makes more sense. Denver, 42.5 and minus 2.5. Okay. Oh, okay. It hasn't shifted up much at all for Denver. What did I say? Minus 2.5. So 2.5. And their favorites, minus 2.5. Detroit. This will take a second. 46 and minus 7.5. They're underdogs. 46 minus 7.5. We're good there. Green Bay, 50 and minus 4.5. Minus 4.5. Houston, 44.5 minus 2.5. It's gone down a bit. Indianapolis. What the hell? This happened to my playlist. I can't find my... Oh, there we go. I swear, I'm going as fast as I can, okay? I got to fill in all these things because no one has an API, apparently. Indianapolis. 48.5, underdog 2.5. It's gone up. And the spread has gone up too. And they're underdogs to the Seahawks, which makes some sense. Jacksonville, they're favorites. Okay. Okay, minus 2.5 against Houston, 44.5. Yeah, I can see them being favorites to Houston. Yes. So there's a team I'm going to make them favorites against. Kansas City, we already did this with Cleveland, right? Yeah. 53 and 6. All right. Miami. Miami is not favorite. Miami is not a favorite. It's going against New England Patriots, 44. That seems soft. 44 minus 2.5. Actually, should be 2.5. Miami are underdogs to New England Patriots with a low total. It's interesting. I know that could be a weird game. What are we on there? Minnesota. 48 minus 3.5. Oh, it's gone down just a little bit. Minnesota's still favorite. New England, we just did that, right? Yeah, against Miami. We're just literally just talking about it. New Orleans. New Orleans, where are you? There we go. Underdog to the Green Bay Packers. Okay. 50 and... Oh, that seems high. Seems very high. New York Giants. Anyone got 42.5 underdogs 2.5. 42.5 2.5. So the gaps widen there a little bit. Neat. Las Vegas. Looks like Las Vegas are underdogs. Yeah, underdogs. 51 game total, 23.3. Minus 2.5. Vegas is going up against Ravens. So, yeah, right there. What is the spread? It's minus 4.5. I don't know why I had this at 2.5. All right, Philadelphia. Where you at? It's an underdog 48 with a 3.5 line. Yep, same. Pittsburgh. $48.5, 6.5. 48.5 minus 6.5. Actually 6.5 because they are the underdogs. Nice. Los Angeles Chargers. 44.5 minus 1. Wow, it's actually a push. Wow. Chargers are still favorites against Washington, though. That stayed the same. San Francisco. 46. Yep, and 7.5. That's exactly the same, and I did this weeks ago. Wow. Seahawks. 48.5 minus 2.5. Who are they going against? Indianapolis Colts. All right. So I already have that in here. 48.5, 2.5. Nice. It's no longer a push. Now the Seahawks are favored, I guess, with the T.Y. Hilton news, maybe. I don't know. It'd be a great place for Zach Pascal to suddenly be good. Rams. All the Las Vegas teams favorited, by the way. 44.5, 7.5. Game total's gone down a bit. The spread's gone up. I really think the Rams are just going to smash Chicago, huh? I don't know about that. Chicago looks like a tough team. Tampa Bay. I think we already did this. 41.5, 51.5, 7.5. Yep, the spread's gone up there too. Against Dallas. Tennessee. Presumably we have to have Tennessee in here already. Yeah, Tennessee versus Cardinals. Cardinals are the underdogs. It should be an interesting game. We'll find out. Washington, where are you? Underdog, of course, 44.5 minus 1. Yeah. All right. So we're just going to lock in RotoWire as my default go-to, I think. I don't like any of those other sites. Vegas team model. All right, what does that spit out? Interesting, I guess. Receiving touchdowns. Tampa Bay gets the most by the look of it, along with Kansas City. That adds up. Green Bay not far behind. Atlanta not, well, it's the same as Green Bay. Yeah, that also kind of makes logical sense. Rushing touchdowns. Likes Tennessee, San Francisco. In fact, it likes Minnesota. Have the edge in rushing touchdowns. Oh, Carolina even better? Huh. I guess Christian McCaffrey, right? All right. Player projections. Again, these should, the minute I change the Vegas totals, the idea is it spits out results. So let's see player export here. All right, what you are interested in. Week 1 projections so far say that Christian McCaffrey is going to be the running back 1, Dalvin Cook the running back 2, Alvin Kamara the running back 3. Is there anything weird here? It says Mike Davis running back 7. Is this big enough for you all? Aaron Jones running back 5. That's fine. Henderson running back 8 feels hot, doesn't it? I'm making too many assumptions about Darrell Henderson, the projections maybe. That's the one that sticks out to me. James Robinson only the running back 14. I really kind of pulled him back a little bit because he had such a high expectation, a high usage last year. He should come back a little bit, even with just Carlos Hyde in there. DeAndre Swift just above him. I mean, it seems fair. You know what I mean? Gus Edwards, running back 16. Yeah, it seems reasonable. I tell you what doesn't. Nick Chubb, running back 18. But they're in an away game as the underdog with a high game total, so it's projecting a lot of those touchdowns to go to the receiving game. Let's check out Cleveland a little bit more. What's going right or wrong there? Where is it? Cleveland's right here. So we're projecting 40% of their touchdowns go to the rushing game. That's partly it. Right? Yeah, it's going straight to projections. It's not getting caught up with some of this arbitrary data I put in here. I mean, I don't know if you agree with that, but if we disagree with Nick Chubb being so low in week 1, it's probably because we don't have him to have a high enough touchdown role in that offense. Or rather, we favor my current projections are putting way too much emphasis on the passing touchdown role in Cleveland, maybe. It's interesting, though. Elliott, 19. That doesn't seem... Again, they're an underdog game with a high game total, and that's what's doing it. And because of what happened last year, and we're so hot in that receiving core, again, we're just not pushing a lot of touchdowns toward the rushing game, especially in passing game scripts. And Zeke really doesn't get a lot of receiving work, you know? That's what's happening there, whether I agree with it or not. Ezekiel Elliott has a disappointing week 1 up against their opponents. Oh, it's right there. Tampa Bay. I can see how that would be more a passing game. I can see what the model's trying to say, right? Okay. Him and Nick Chubb seem low, but it's game script. Got it. Gibson seems low, but I think my projections in general are too low on him. Could use some adjusting, but they're also, again, an underdog in a home game with a low game total. I don't know. If they're at home and it's a low game total, even as an underdog, you'd think it would kick more of the touchdowns towards the rushing game. Might have to take a look at that. Yeah, I think this home game total split should be affecting the touchdown rates a little bit. Maybe that'd be something I can do. Hang on, let me just check here. What's it saying in terms of... It's saying Gibson gets a touchdown, but he only gets 48 yards doing it. That seems low. Not a lot of receiving yards. 2.6 targets in a passing game with Terry McLaurin on the field. That kind of makes sense. Okay. I just wanted to see. Ronald Jones, Kareem Hunt, these shared backfields aren't going to have a high week-to-week game. I don't like that. Miami has such a low projection week 1 against New England for the game total, and therefore the team total, because they're underdogs, is like 20. And it's kicking them out to like running back 26. I would disagree with that, but I think it's fair based on what Vegas is saying. That's fair. That's fine. Okay. Who's the best backup RB in your week projection? It's a good question. I don't know how to answer that, though. Do you mean what's the lowest ranked running back with the highest ranked week 1 projection right now? That'd probably be Darrell Henderson. It just spat him out as running back 8 week 1. I mean, we're still perfecting this model. There's 2 weeks out before there's actual games, but it should be pretty close by now. 69 rushing yards, nice, and a single touchdown. Now, what I would say is you either get 1 touchdown or nothing right now. I prefer fractional, but everyone was tilting over it. So I just made it kick it over to a full touchdown or nothing. James Conner, if he finishes as running back 17, 12 points in week 1. I think that would upset a lot of people who faded him. But again, week 1, Chase Edmonds, I don't think he's a guy week 1, you know? Elliott being right down here, I think this says all we need to know about how much we're kicking it over to the receiving game for Dallas. That looks too far to me. That looks like a overview problem. I don't think Ezekiel Elliott should be outside the top 12. It's non-alcoholic, by the way, just in case you're wondering. It's actually called an Ale. It's a Kentucky beverage. It's a soda. Sig's inside. Howdy likes to party. Only in this room and only when I'm doing this. I have kids and a wife who, don't smoke, so I allow myself in my office. That's about it. It's the only place in the house. And it was a bit of a revelation, but I just got tired of freezing my ass off every time I wanted a cigarette in the winter. I need a space, and this is the furthest one away from anyone else as well. And I got 2 windows. All right. Cooper Kupp and Brandon Ayuk, top 5 wide receivers week 1. Their game total isn't too high, but because they're favored so strongly, the points are kind of off the chart on a team level. And since they're the main wide receiver volume and touchdown guys, I've gotten that offense. It's just kicking them up there into the top 5. That's a lot better than the first time I ran this, by the way. Just 2 seeming a little high. Yeah, I've got them both kicking out with 9 targets right now. That's probably a little hot. Their role in the offense is probably a little high for a week-to-week projection. But again, hopefully this gets better as we get 2021 data. Using seasonal projections is they're all going to come out a little hot. Deebo Samuel, wide receiver 18. I mean, San Francisco's going to have a game if all the hype we're building into this offense is true, and I don't think it is. Cortland Sutton, wide receiver 24, and Keenan Allen, wide receiver 23, seems low. But again, low game projections, low team projections as away favorites. I mean, it's just favoring the rushing game. Again, it doesn't make sense. I don't like it. Just I get the thing I've built makes sense. Is making sense, even if I don't like some of the results. That seems fine. That's just where I go against the market, right? Hopefully. All right, I want to look at some of these quarterbacks. Might be a better lens on what it's doing right and wrong right now. Kyler Murray, quarterback 1 in week 1. I could buy that. They're away in a high game total with not much of a spread, so they're getting a decent touchdown total themselves. Hang on. Apologies. Lamar Jackson, quarterback 3. Mahomes finishing quarterback 5 does not feel as hot as you might think. That team is weird in the way it scores points. That seems reasonable. Matt Ryan, quarterback 6 for the week, might sound hot, but it shouldn't. Garoppolo, again, this is the kind of, like, I don't believe in this San Francisco team. Like, if Garoppolo starts week 1 and the team is productive as everyone thinks it's going to, like, this, that's too high for Mr. Garoppolo. And again, like I was talking with someone the other week about if we like everyone in this Carolina offense, it makes us too high in Sam Darnold. I don't know about that either, but it's more showing up what's wrong about our team expectations because we like so many of the players. Then again, I think the thing is doing what I want it to. I just think some of our assumptions are off, which is fine. It's how it should be. All right. We're kicking a lot of touchdowns to the rushing game in Minnesota, apparently. Oh, yeah. 47% of touchdowns to the rushing game in Minnesota. That's well above average. Again, it makes sense. You got Dalvin Cook, but, it's worth noting. And also, Adam Thielen shouldn't be so touchdown lucky this year and stuff like that. So, okay. I think Joe Burrow being quarterback 7 week 1 will be disappointing. I think Vegas is underrating Cincinnati a little bit. And again, I think this is doing what it should. I think it's just showing us that Vegas underrates Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert a little bit, both teams. Again, Vegas lines are going to change as they learn about the teams this year, the same way, hopefully, our distribution of work and touchdowns does. Jameis Winston, quarterback 29. Again, in a 50-game total, it's only projecting New Orleans to get like 22 points, which works out to like, one a bit touchdowns? Yeah, it works out to like 1 receiving touchdown. So there's not much the model can do for Jameis in that situation. I think this is Vegas unsure of, Winston being the starter. I think when they accept, or if they accept Winston's the starter, the spread will change, or the game line and the spread, and the receiving touchdown potential will move up here. But let me just check. Yeah, we're probably a little too heavy. Oh, my seasonal projections are a little too heavy towards the rushing game. I haven't updated for Jameis being the starter enough. That's probably what that is. Yeah, that seems fair. Same with Mac Jones, not enough touchdowns going to the receiving game. I should definitely change that out. Outside of that, it looks reasonable. Yeah, that adds up to me. Darren Waller might look low for some, but lowest team total of the bunch. So many touchdowns we're trying to push over to the wide receivers. Tyler Higbee, I mean, this level of variance is possible, but that seems a little hot. I don't think he's got this level of role. We're making him, what? We're not giving him a touchdown. His role's a little too large for the look of it. I have not heard an update on Ingram's injury yet, but I'm going to have to get on that. Hunter Henry, tight end 12 seems fair. All right. So a few more updates on my seasonal projections I want to make, especially before they're ready to be used in a weekly model. But overall, this thing that I want to use in season seems to be working pretty well. Let's see Darnold against the Jets. What's your projection on that game? Again, I'm not projecting the game. I'm using Vegas's projection, but sure. Carolina. Got Sam Darnold way too high. In my opinion, but according to Vegas, the game is going to have a 44 total. The spread is going to be such that Carolina is going to be the favorite, going to win the game, and they're going to have a 24-point team total. That's probably too high. But Christian McCaffrey, running back 1, Dan Arnold, tight end 30, DJ Moore, wide receiver 7, Robbie Anderson, wide receiver 14, Terrence Marshall, wide receiver 90. That's the overall projection. again, I think we're just hoping way too much from the receiving core. I think it's DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, and Terrence Marshall sits like a rookie. I mean, he might have a good rookie year, but he's not going to outproduce either. I don't think. I think that's why Sam Darnold's getting bumped up so far. I think Robbie Anderson moves more outside than he did last year. Still struggles with touchdowns, but DJ Moore excels with that help, like he did towards the end of the season. More. And Christian McCaffrey just becomes the engine of this offense again. But trying to do all three means that Sam Darnold is quarterback 12 week 1 in a middling kind of a game against the Jets, where you should expect more, probably, right? You should expect more rushing when they're playing the Jets. Unless, if Vegas was thinking the Jets are better than they are, the game total would be more, right? Hey, Dynasty Hot Sauce, how you doing? Jacob Calloway, had my first startup draft ever. Your work helped me a lot. Well, I appreciate that, man. I hope it did. I hope it helped you to make a team that you liked. God knows you shouldn't do everything I do, but I'm glad it helped in any way that it did. I've been listening to, and that's why I was trying to get Stitcher to work as well. I've been listening to Zach Reed, Dynasty Dummies. I was on it, obviously, but mostly he's got Dynasty Outhouse and John Bosch talking about their process, and it's been really interesting. So who did I say we have to shift? We have to shift New England's touchdown, where they're coming from a little bit more. I think if we make James White a little less successful there. And maybe one wide receiver a little more effective than 200 yards per touchdown. Jeez. Yeah, we it's heavily going towards the receiving game there. Let me make some adjustments here. We'll see if we can't spit out more reasonable numbers. It's just where we're trying to have every running back in New England be a sleeper, basically. It's just not going to work out well. You know what I mean? We need more touchdowns going to the receiving game. It's that simple. I think we have that now. Ooh. No, we already have that. What's going on with them? Is it overall attempts? What's going on with New England? I would expect Mac Jones to land late 20s at worst, but instead he's quarterback 30. It's James White and okay. We can be a little more optimistic at Hunter Henry. I don't mind being hot in that direction. Tight end 8's fine by me. All right. There we go. A little better. I think we probably have to be a little hotter on Jacoby. I mean, we've talk about coming a long way. I have to move my head to see the opposite side of my screen now. Oh, we're back down. What the hell? Let me sleep on it. Baby, let me sleep on it. We might have to start making these independent. I love the idea of both models being connected, but I mean, there are just some things seasonal projections can't account for on a weekly basis. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? I have no idea if I'm making English right now. Sometimes I'm talking gibberish and I don't even know it. I think Mac Jones is a little underrated this week one line, and right, especially against Miami, who could be a team could be. Look at all that red from Vegas. Does not expect a lot, does it? And yet Tua's rushing potential is kind of holding him up in week one rank. Rushing attempts 7 yards. Okay, it's not that. We're just expecting an entirely different pass to rush ratio, I guess. Okay. I need a way to be able to see a game at one time instead of having to do this. Yeah, we're just expecting New York has to get a lot more yards before it gets a touchdown. Looking at that team. There it is. Expecting the same amount of touchdowns from both. That makes sense. Far away. Okay, there is actually something going a little. There's something a little squiffy in here. Miami. Why Miami and New York linked in my head? We're expecting the difference to be a field goal. That's why they're projected for very similar touchdowns in the rushing and receiving game, because their splits are about the same too. We expect them to be heavily receiving orientated, which actually makes some sense. All right. Okay. I like it. If I liked all of them, though, I'd win every game. John Smith, it leaves a little bit of a different window than it normally would be as far as getting ready for the opener. So we'll have to see where he's at in terms of how we manage him. Joe Judge on Ingram. Yeah. Appreciate that, John. Both Miami and New England have really good defenses. The line is probably low because of this. Yeah, I think so. Also, there's not a lot of reason to be optimistic, apart from the new Mac Jones news, maybe. I shouldn't be so focused on that game, but that just seemed a little off. I'm really, especially this far out, I'm looking for hiccups in the model and the assumptions more than the game projections. I know you all just want to know who's going to finish where, but hell if I know. I wonder if I could put a game thing in. Anyway. I mean, I could just start editing these assumptions manually for a week-to-week kind of a look, if it keeps being a weird thing. But honestly, they seem fine from a team level. What we expect, it's saying what we expect mostly and broadly, and we're applying that to what Vegas roughly expects for the game. So yeah, I don't like some of the ranks, but I'm not meant to like all the ranks. It's not a projection so much as an estimation of what Vegas is saying is going to happen, based once you combine it with what we think the team's going to do. And as the season roll out, it's going to become more of what the team has done versus what Vegas does think. It's we're meant to disagree with some of the ranks because that's meant to be where some might be off, right? The Vegas might be off, or assumption of the team usage might be off. Yeah. All right. Any questions? I think, and this stream's when I do this for DLF Live in the season, I'm hopefully going to have most of this work done. I'm going to talk about the games themselves, like 1v1, and hopefully answer some questions more than just read through what my sheet's finding, because that sounds boring as fuck. And also, I don't want to use this view. I'd much rather it be this view, hopefully with another person most of the time, so we can get conversation about what it says going instead of just looking at what it says is going, because this is all going to be available on my week-to-week on my weekly update as soon as Vegas line drops for the next week, and then I'll update it later that week. And hopefully it'll be lower effort so I can get involved in some more of the content. Because projections were literally worse than more time than a full-time job last year. I'm taking advantage of that by doing an extra stream in a week and answering some more questions, talking with people on here and in the Discord a little bit more than I was able to last year. I didn't even have a Discord last year, so. And this one, the player, hang on. This is the one that's going to spit out. So it's going to have the Vegas breakdown, and then it will have PPR points, yards, opportunity, some advanced metrics calculated. And also probably this week-to-week thing, so you can see where you think you disagree with it more on a broader view, team versus team level. And hopefully I'll lead some interesting takes, interesting ideas on what's going to happen the following week, as opposed to where average or where market is. That's my idea anyway. All right, let's hide this thing. Get Connor on your stream one of these days. Yeah, sure. I'm really shopping it around DLF right now, hoping I can get regular content producers, because once you get them to sign up, they're going to turn up with regular normal people. Shit happens. Shit happens with me all the time as well. But yeah, I can ask Connor, I can ask Cash, I can ask anyone that's in the Discord if they want to come in and talk about something specific, especially. So yeah, I mean, hell, Connor's being shouted out by and what's Roto-World called now? I don't know, Pahowdy. So yeah, that'd be a big get for us at this point. Yeah, we're definitely going to use RotoWire as well, by the way, because this all sucks. Close that out. Got to come up with a better playlist too. All right, so that's about it. Hopefully, in season, we can talk about the waiver wire that just ran, how rookies are doing, get a conversation about what Vegas is saying players are going to do versus what we think early week might actually happen that week, and probably about an hour long. maybe a little longer, maybe a little shorter. We don't know. It's going to be more of a live stream podcast, so something a little bit new for me. And hopefully we'll get some value out to you all. I'm not specifically always immediate action orientated, but I think it's going to be fun to run through lives literally as we're playing them instead of more looking at the more holistic level, which is what I typically do on the Crossroads, which will be dropping later in that week. And I'll record it after my live stream on Wednesdays, whenever now is. So yeah, let me know what you think. Well, let me know if there's a section that should be included. Obviously, this one was largely me filling the data, then looking through it. I don't really want that to be the live stream. I'd rather have all that ready and come on and talk about what I see in game-by-game projections. Hopefully just talking about 2 or 3 games that really stick out, 2 or 3 projections for players that really stick out. Hopefully having another person, which I'm still workshopping with DLF's pool of talent, to try and see if they can get on. We can disagree or agree on some things and talk about how rookies are going, who might be underratedly having a good rookie season. That's going to become increasingly important as the season goes on. But if there's something else on your week-to-week content that you don't get, because I know everyone's got a waiver show, everyone's got a this show or that show, a DFS show. We're staying a little more just broadly. What do we expect for players this week with a dynasty lens? But I don't know if there's something else we could include. Like, are you really missing? I don't know. If I knew what you were missing in your weekly content, I would add it. Outside of that, we're going to just throw a net and try and get week-to-week content out to you on Wednesdays on a live stream where you can interact, ask questions live, as well as anything we might have planned to say. And yeah, that's kind of the story. We're going to be doing it late because I operate mostly late. And also, I think most people are more free at night. You know, your waivers have already run on Wednesdays, but you might still be looking at your waiver wire or considering a trade, or you want to ask. That's actually something that should probably be involved in a dynasty-related week-to-week show. Is my team worth holding on to? Is it still competitive, or is it time I start looking at 2021? And that way you could ask us now, and we could say on a week-to-week basis, you're still good. Maybe trade for this running back. Maybe push for this waiver wire ad, or late waiver wire ad after the waivers run. Or we can say, yeah, here's how you can start building for next year. It's probably time to give up because we're aiming for the top or the bottom, one or the other. And I think that would be interesting week-to-week content too. Most week-to-week content is very seasonal orientated for very good reasons. But seasonal changes in micro-market values for a dynasty league, I don't see a lot of that out there. And I think we could cover some of that at least live on this weekly live stream. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you want me to add anything to it or take anything from it away like me. Do you want me off it? I can try. I'll try. But yeah, just let me know. Really appreciate it. I'll talk to you again next week. From now on, we're live streaming on Wednesdays. It might move over to the DLF channel at some point. I don't know how that's going to work. But I'll at least be posting the link to whichever channel it's on every week. And so even these last few weeks before we get actual seasons, we'll be live streaming on Wednesday. Dynasty Crossroads drops at the end of the week. Again, available on YouTube, but also available in your podcast feeds. And hit me up on Twitter any time, obviously, at Pahowdy, to give me suggestions on things to include, things to take away, questions that you want answered to. Again, if you're in the Discord, we literally have one of those channels is just questions you might want answered, and I can take from there to answer them on either this show, or I can take from here to answer them on the Dynasty Crossroads itself. And yeah, we can start bringing people on from the Discord. At this point, they're getting big enough, we almost have to. So appreciate you all checking it out. I'll see you again next Wednesday. There's a Dynasty Crossroads episode literally dropped today. Normally that's going to drop later in the week, but hopefully we're going to get 2 Dynasty Crossroads out this week. But there's at least going to be one Sunday, Monday for the Dynasty Crossroads on YouTube and in your podcast feed, and this live stream dropping on YouTube and literally live every week, probably around 9-10 p.m., depending on whoever I get involved in it, whenever they can record. But I'll be around anyway. Anyway, thanks very much. I will talk to you again next week. He said, vamping for time as he looked for that fancy thing that person made for him once. Oh, look at this. I forgot to put that up. There you go. All right. No more questions? Cool. I really appreciate checking out. I'll see you again next week. I'm available in the Discord, on Twitter, and anywhere else as a communication app, pretty much. And I'll see you next Wednesday. Yeah. And also on the Crossroads on Sunday. Thanks. Bye.